All right! Welcome back to As It Should Be. Paul Bertolino here in the world famous As It Should Be studios.
Hey, Paul.
Not to mention Crystal Durant.
Hi, Crystal.
Not to mention Tommy Von Voy.
Hey,
Hi,
Tommy.
Tommy.
Hi.
And not to
How's it
mention
going?
you.
Hey, people.
Hey, you.
Hi, fans.
All right. So here we are to close out the 90s. We're
Good.
gonna say good riddance to the 90s, aren't we?
Jesus.
Yeah. And, well, you know, Prince was a fan.
He was a big fan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
Speaking of which.
Yeah, you have to make sure it's visible. It's getting a little glare there. We got... It's important, people. This is important stuff.
Yes.
Okay. In case you haven't guessed, we're going to discuss our favorite albums of 1999. And, I actually get to start this one. Unlike last week.
Where he tricked us.
Yes, none of this, bait and switch shit. I'm actually going to start this one.
Bait and switch. I get the last word on 1999.
All right. Now, for this year, I do not have honorable mentions. I have albums considered for the list.
Wow. Wow.
Oh.
I had two albums that were considered for the list.
I can't wait to see
I
what
wouldn't
this
say they
Chiron
were
looks like.
honorable mentions. It was just like, well, if I couldn't have come up with anything else, then I would have been like, okay, fuck it, and put these on the list.
Wow.
What an endorsement.
Wow. So you know
And those
they're gonna be
albums
good.
are
Yeah.
Blondie with No Exit.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
There's a handful of really good songs on it, not the least of which is the single Maria.
Maria.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
there is some fucking...
But you know what? I don't like that song.
yeah. What's the terrible album from 1980?
The Hunter.
Hunter. Yeah, there's like Hunter level head scratchers on that one. Yeah. Michael Monroe with Life Gets You Dirty. That's not a bad album. I'm just not really... It's just like, whatever. So,
Wow.
I considered it for the list. Didn't make it.
All right.
So number 10. My list, number 10. Now I'm stealing Crystal's shit here with list. But yeah, number 10. The very first time this artist is making my list. And it's a pretty odd spot for this artist to be coming in. Randy Newman with
What?
Bad Love.
Wow.
Yeah, talk about...
Wow.
Who you would think anybody's albums of the year list. What year do you think Randy
Randy
Newman's going
Newman
to come
come
in?
in.
Oh, 1999, of course.
Holy cow.
Didn't see that coming at all,
Yeah.
man.
Randy Newman.
Okay.
Bad Love. Well, yeah, I checked it out. Well, I like Randy Newman, but I've never gone in deep. I've never had a Randy Newman. Well, I have Sail Away somewhere because everybody does.
Yeah.
And even that one, I think it has so much. It's kind of like one of those Pet Sounds albums where everybody talks it up so much that when I listened to it, I was like, well,
Whatever.
But he really is. I like his voice. He's one of the fucking best lyricists ever.
Yes.
He can write a great melody. Like, he's really great. I just have yet to go through a period where I'm into him. And I know that it is within my grasp. It is within me somewhere to truly appreciate Randy Newman. I just haven't really gone there yet. But I took a listen to this record, and I liked it. It was good, It's a whole... Wow. It's called Bad Love. It's a whole collection of songs, about breakups and, just, bad love.
Bad Love.
And it's well done. Coming in number 9. Some Paul Core. The Smithereens with God Save the Smithereens.
Wow, they're still making records?
Paul Core.
Paul Core. You have your own genre?
Well,
It makes sense.
Paul Core.
I love this.
Paul Core, I like it.
Yeah, the Smithereens, God Save the Smithereens. The last album they did for a while. That was the original lineup. They did that album and they kind of vanished for a while. Like, didn't make another album until 2011. And by then,
Zooks.
the bassist was out and all that kind of stuff. So this is kind of like the end of their original run. It's okay. If this were a better year, this album would not make the list. But, in the sea of 1999...
Yeah.
The fact that this album on the front cover says The Smithereens means it makes my list. Yeah.
It's a great year, people. It's a great year.
Yeah. Oof.
Number 8. But now I'm on to albums that I actually genuinely like. Like these are eligible for the list. Swing Out Sister
Say what?
with Filth and Dreams.
Holy shit.
An album released only in Japan.
What?
Yeah. Okay, so when they put their first album out, the album with Breakout. Big hit album in, like 87 or whatever.
I love Breakout.
That song just sounds like fucking every other song. It's
It's better to travel. Is that the name of the album?
Yeah, there's that. And I didn't like them. They were just another one of those fucking bands that just sounded like that like everybody else around that time that I didn't like. So that name, Swing Out Sister, just in my head was just like, oh, But our friend Mary Edwards, shout out to Mary, turned me on to, like, she was like, she pointed out an album that's going to be on a future list that I'll talk about a bit more than this one, that changed it all for me, and now I understand. This, out of all the Swing Out Sister albums that I like, this is probably my least favorite, but it's still worthy of being on the list. They're going a little further into this, or they're beginning to go more into this style that's completely unlike the first album. They're getting a bit more loungy, a bit more. They kind of went into this almost like Dionne Warwick during the Bacharach years kind of vibe. Yeah. You know, a little cinematic. You know, horns and strings and like a whole different thing.
Really?
Yeah. Everything is organic and real, man.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
Hey Andy,
but
hey
in a good
Corinne.
way though. I like, you know, they're not bone dry or anything. They have atmosphere.
Oh, okay.
They're good, you know.
They're fans of the show.
Yeah.
Really?
They're friends of mine. Yeah.
The Swing Out Sister crew?
Andy, Corinne.
Mary and Crystal know them.
Breakout.
Yeah, you know, I went. There was that after party. They did some show at BB King's, and I was there for the after party, but I didn't see the show. Did you guys go to the show?
Well, yeah, because my friend Bill Coleman and I DJ'd before and after.
Okay, yeah,
and it was great.
And then I just came. I was just there for the hangout afterwards, but I have never actually seen them live.
It was awesome. They had a full band, backing vocalists, horns. They had the whole nine. Yeah, it was great. It was August. It was hot as fuck.
Yeah. Okay, so number 7, Kurt Smith. With Aeroplane. Now, it's a little bit of a cheat because on our previous episode, 98, I put the Mayfield album. Well, I put it as an honorable mention. Mm-hmm. This is a Kurt Smith solo album that mostly repurposes a lot of the material from that album, like outright. It's not re-recordings. Like that album is Sunk Without a Trace, and they put out a Kurt Smith album where he cherry-picked songs from the Mayfield album and mixed it with new tracks, and it's really good. The Kurt Smith solo is like. Sounds like Tears for Fears to me. I'll take it, you know?
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah. Number 6. The Donnas are back with Get Skin Tight. Now, I was really excited when this album was coming out. It was the follow-up to Rock and Roll Machine, the first one that I bought. And I was especially excited by this because this album is produced by Jeff and Steve McDonald of Red Cross.
Say what?
So I was like, oh my god, the Donnas, produced by Jeff and Steve from Red Cross. I could not fucking wait. I didn't love the album at the time, but going back to it, it's like, no, this is a really fucking good record. I like the record. I like it.
Wow.
But I mean, I put it above Kurt Smith. So
okay.
Number 5, more Paul Core. The Ocean Blue with Davy Jones's
back.
Locker.
Oh, Ocean
this
Blue.
Paul Core category. This is so great.
It's good. I want to see the listing in Wikipedia next week.
Yeah.
Paul Core.
If somebody wants to make that
Full
page.
list of
Get on
Paul
it.
Core artists.
Yeah.
Yeah, The Ocean Blue with Davy Jones's Locker. Now this, kind of like the Smithereens, it was kind of like their last album for a period. They had kind of gone off. I think they got dropped from their major label, and they put this record out, and it wasn't really a big seller. And then they kind of they broke up. Didn't break up. They just kind of stopped being active. And David Shelzel, who's like the front guy, you know, he went to school and like got a real job and you know, raised a family, had a kid, and like, you know, like had this whole other life for years and years before they came back.
Wow.
About 15 years ago or so, roughly. But yeah, this is a good Ocean Blue record.
Interesting.
Number 4. More Paul Core. Supergrass with their self-titled Supergrass.
Super.
Yes, they're a super band. Supergrass. This is this is the follow-up to In It for the Money, which In It for the Money is by far my favorite Supergrass album. So when this album was coming out, I was really excited and I bought it the day it came out. And it was okay. It was okay. I like it more now than I did then, but even now, it's not one of the best albums. It's one of those weird albums where there's nothing wrong with it at all. There's nothing wrong with it. I can't really. It makes no sense on paper why I wouldn't think it's that great, but whatever. Number 3, an actual artist I haven't discussed before, believe it or not.
It's 2.
The Ladybug Transistor.
What?
Oh wait, that sounds familiar.
The Ladybug Transistor.
Holy
with
shit.
the Album All sound.
Wow.
And okay, well, I just got turned on to this. I'd heard of them before, but in my diggings for these lists, I came across them, and I decided to take a listen to this record. You know, it's a bit precious and twee, like in that Belle and Sebastian sort of way, but it's drenched in mid to late '60s vibes. So I mean, you know, I'm a sucker for that.
Soaking in it.
So I'm soaking in it.
Dive right in.
But okay, so number two, more Paul-core.
Ah, Paul-core.
Yeah, we're just washing Paul-core here. Slow with Between the Bridges.
Okay, that's as Paul-core as you get. Are you
right?
kidding me?
Well, no,
Paul-core
Red
to
Cross
the
is his
bone.
Paul-core.
Oh, that is-
Yeah, but
yeah.
this is pretty damn close. Yeah, Between the Bridges is my second favorite Sloan album, and damn, is it good. Unfortunately, I don't have it on vinyl. I would love to have it right there in place of Navy Blues, but, you know. But my number one.
Oh,
More Paul-core. I'll be sure to not say this every single time because it would
a lot
be
of Paul-core
me
Just
saying
coming.
put it
Yeah.
across the bottom.
yeah, just
Paul
know
Core.
it's implied. Matthew Sweet
No.
in reverse.
Okay.
The last Matthew Sweet album that I loved. Yeah, this album is. If you were gonna like any Matthew Sweet album, it would be this one because he. Well, I mean that's stretching it. Basically, on this album, what he was trying to do was trying to do a Phil Spector kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
Like it's in terms of like the sound of the record, it's the polar opposite of Girlfriend. It is a wash and reverb.
Okay. All right. Now you got my
And-
attention.
So it's like this really
talking
these
Tommy's
really
language.
great poppy songs, a lot of '60s influence with full fucking Phil Spector like wetness. Just like you have to dry off after you listen to it. There's so much fucking reverb on some of these tracks.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hot over here.
But it sounds fucking great, and the songs are great. And yeah, again, that's the last Matthew Sweet album that I loved. There are others coming up that I like, but this is my last one that could even begin to go number one. You know.
Phil Spector Wetness, my new punk rock band. Watch for us.
All right, so there you go.
Paul's gonna play drums. Tommy's gonna play lead. I'll play rhythm.
And we'll all be wet.
Power
We'll all have
trio.
the wet
We'll
look.
all be wet.
No bassist.
And we'll be wet. You
No
may not be
bassist.
able to
No
see that we're
bassist.
wet, but we'll be wet.
That's how hardcore it's gonna be. No basis. Can
Oh my
Melissa play
God.
bass? Can we get her to play
Yeah.
bass? We got
All right,
Melissa.
Melissa's on bass.
Melissa's on
Okay.
bass.
And Melissa will be wet.
Oh!
All of us will all be wet.
Oh,
We'll all be wet.
We'll be
All of
wet.
us. I'll be wet. You'll be wet.
Wet.
Everyone's
Yeah,
wet.
everyone's wet.
Everybody's gonna be wet, and you guys are gonna be wet when I show you these commercials.
How you doing, Sarge? Okay, folks, what'll it be?
What would you like, sweetheart?
A Pepsi, please.
Sorry, we only have Coke. Now you've done it.
You're sorry? Not half as sorry as you're gonna be. I ordered a Pepsi, pal.
She's got a mind of her own.
What's with this guy?
Look, I just thought...
You thought? What you really thought was that I don't know the difference between Pepsi and a Coke, right?
Here's your Pepsi.
Thank you.
Kids say the darndest things.
What are you looking at?
I like this place.
Okay, I do believe it's time for
Okay.
Tommy to
Tommy time.
trudge through 10 feet of snow
Oh, both ways.
both ways.
No
Uphill.
feet uphill.
Uphill
yes.
both ways.
A trudge I shall. Oh, God. God.
You can do it. You can do it. You can do it.
Why did... I mean, I don't have to. I'm doing... Oh. Fine. Fine. I'm doing it for you!
For you,
Was that this?
Damien. For you,
It's all for you, Damien!
It's all
Oh man,
And then I jump off the
Yeah.
window.
man, I saw that when I was
my
a
list.
kid. That was like
Ooh.
really.
I saw that in the 70s on HBO.
Oh snap!
Yeah,
wow.
that was a
That'll mess you up as a kid.
yeah.
Yeah, it will.
All right. Speaking of things that messed you up as a kid, 1999.
Yeah.
I actually have some shameful mentions.
Shameful.
As
mention.
I
Yeah.
might have suspected.
Paul just calls these mentions. I call them shameful mentions
Shameful.
because they're, you know, They actually would be part of my category that I've been using as of late. So I've got Famous Monsters by the Misfits. The
They were still making records
Yeah,
then?
this is the second album they did with Michael Graves on vocals. It's the follow-up to American Psycho. It's actually, if I'm being honest, the record is kind of weak sauce with a couple of really good songs on there, and a lot of it is just like... But this was one, and a rare occasion, when I got it the day that it came out.
Oh.
Wow.
Well, you were excited.
Yes. Actually, I got it before the day it came out because I knew somebody that worked at the record store. And they had, they would get the copies beforehand,
Right,
and then you
yeah.
can't actually start selling them. But he was just like, "Here, you
You
want
can
it?"
give them away.
And I'm like, "Yeah, I want it now."
Yeah.
And I drove home very disappointed.
What, you had it on cassette?
It was on CD.
Oh.
Yeah,
CDs
I
in your
popped
car.
that shit in right away, and the first song was like, "Yeah," and the second song was like, "Yeah, okay," and the third song was like,
You crashed into a mailbox.
"Oh well."
And all the rest of it was
It's just
Tommy
downhill
Now.
from there.
Going,
Yep, pretty much, yeah. And there's like 19, 20 songs on the damn thing, so it's a lot of disappointment.
Yeah, but they're like a minute and a half long.
Yeah. And my other shameful mention is actually this album in hindsight is quite terrible, but this title though, The Angry Samoans with "The 90s Suck and So Do You."
Okay, well, I have to high five the Angry Samoans.
Yeah.
Oh my
yeah.
god. But moving on to my top 10, this time 9 of them are in my special category. And that category being, I can't stand behind these anymore, but this is what I was listening to in the late 90s.
Ding, ding, ding.
Number 10, The Queers with Later Days and Better Lays. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Wait a second. I also had Famous Monsters at number 9.
Wow. That is how
This
bad
is
it
this is calls back to when I had Hot in the Shade by Kiss on the worst of list for one year and on the actual list for the following year. Remember that? And I would say the quality of the albums is probably pretty similar.
Oh my god. I'll tell you what, this just tells you how much I give a shit about 1999.
Yeah, Tommy's pretty thorough. Like, he does not make these kind of mistakes.
don't.
This is not
No,
a
he
Tommy
doesn't.
mistake.
I've actually never made this mistake before.
Yeah. See, what you guys aren't privy to is we're on a 3-person thread here, and we'll talk about, oh, I'm having so much trouble doing this, that, the other, and this is
I know.
this is big.
This is big. This is a momentous event.
Yeah.
All right, well, moving
Right
on.
along.
Number 8, The Muffs with Alert Today, Alive Tomorrow.
Muffs.
Number 7, Me First and the Gimme Gimmes are a drag. They sure are.
Yes, they are. Yeah.
Number 6, The Donnas with Get Skin Tight.
Yeah.
Yep. Number 5, The Huntingtons, Get Lost.
Get tight, get lost.
Yes. A lot of stuff to get in the 1990s. Number 4, AFI, Black Sails in the Sunset.
AFI.
I was really into AFI in the
What
late
does that
90s.
stand for?
A Fire Inside.
Oh, really?
Yeah, go back a couple episodes
Oh,
when you
I
asked
asked
him before,
that before.
and
Sorry.
check
Yeah.
I'm old. My brain hurts.
I think I even responded the same way. I was
I
like,
think you
a
did.
fire inside.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oops. Sorry.
My number 3, The Teen Idols with Pucker Up.
that. Pucker up.
Pucker Up.
Teen Idols.
Yep. My number 2, Weird Al with Running with Scissors.
Well, Weird Al, that's
Love
that's
Weird
solid.
Al. Thank you, Weird Al.
Oh God. Yeah. Yeah. I listened to that Running with Scissors album a lot. That's got he did a ska song on there, the Horoscope song. Remember that one? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know it, but so you have Weird Al on your No Longer Can Stand Behind.
Yeah,
Huh?
I'm not listening to that fucking record now. Come on, man. Weird Al parodying a bunch of 90s music.
Oh yeah.
Fuck, what am I gonna do with that?
no,
What
you're
am I
right.
gonna,
Good
how am I
point.
gonna work?
I'm
with
only
this?
thinking Weird Al, but
Yeah.
you're right. 90s. Yeah.
Simply because it's 90s music.
Weird Al, and this is no fault of Weird Al. Weird Al can only be as good as the decade in which Weird Al is operating.
Right, because he keeps it current.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that concludes I Can't Stand Behind These Anymore, but this is what I was listening to in the late 90s. And my number 1 is, God, this is such a cop-out. My number 1 is not even officially an album. It's a compilation from a box set.
Wow.
This is dire, man. This is dire. And that is Bruce Springsteen with 18 tracks.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, is that the one where she's like sitting back on the
Yeah, I
sofa
think
on the
so,
cover?
yeah,
It's
yeah.
kind of sepia tone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Zowie.
Yeah. It's got Where the Bands Are, and that song absolutely slaps. So
What are you gonna do?
I don't know.
Where the bands are.
No, that.
Someone puts me number one on his list. Well, I mean, at least you like Connie Francis, right?
Yeah.
I do love Connie
So there you
Francis.
go. There you go. It's a
works.
little rainbow at the end.
Peanut
Song
butter,
me.
chocolate, boom.
You put your chocolate in my peanut butter.
How you put your peanut butter on my chocolate?
Well, you guys should get a room. And
Yeah.
while they're doing that, I will
Watch
take
for
us.
it on our OnlyFans. Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, you guys probably should get some privacy. I'll take them to commercial.
Okay.
I know you like your outfit stylish. Any other line but the Gap is childish. Everybody working as your personal stylist. You're falling once you hear the Gap calling. You can't resist the shopping, big ballin', non-stopping, yes, y'allin'. Jeans popping in every mall in town and city. GAP, gritty, ready to go for us, by us, on the low. G, that's for getting it. A for always. P, that's for power and the people that praise. Backwards, P for popular, A for attitude. G, get it going, daddy. Gap is on the move. How easy is this? Fall into the Gap.
Son, your mother and I have to talk to you.
It's important.
Marijuana. The wacky weed, it is bad. Of this I know, believe your dad. Remember this, it's your decision, but marijuana can lead to prison.
Any way you choose to talk with your kids about drugs is a good way. Call for your free brochure.
Well, all right. Yay, we're
Oh,
back.
for God's sake. All
And
right.
it's
Crystal.
time to do the suck list. You're not really going to be able to tell the difference on Tommy's, I think, but
Is it time to stink?
Stink.
yeah.
Stank?
No, no,
No, it's my list.
It's your list.
Oh, so it is time to do the suck list.
I'm confusing episodes.
Oh, Tommy! He punched me right in the eye. You saw it. You saw it. God damn it.
That was a burn.
How terrible.
Sweet burn.
A sweet burn. All right, says 1999. Okay. 1999. Okay. All right. So here's some fun facts. Elton John was himself on The Simpsons. Do you remember that episode?
Well, I think I saw the
Hilarious.
commercial for it.
It was good. It was good. Lauryn Hill made history as the first female artist to win 5 Grammys in one night. I mentioned that the last episode. The artist formerly known as Prince filed a lawsuit against 9 websites for copyright and trademark infringement, claiming they sold bootleg recordings and offered unauthorized song downloads. And that same year, he had a huge yard sale. You guys remember this? He had a yard sale at Paisley Park and raised millions of dollars for charities for underprivileged children.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah. It was really... My sister tried to go.
What do you
tried
sell,
to
like,
go
for
to-
memorabilia
She
and
was too
stuff?
expensive.
Or
Huh?
memorabilia and stuff like
Yeah,
that?
yeah. Like, I mean, not guitars and shit like that, but like posters and guitar picks and, ephemera.
Right, I don't wear this. I'm not going to ever wear this stuff again.
Just
That'll
take
go,
it. Yeah. Huge yard sale. It was. I'm not sure if it was on TV, but it was on the news. All right, then we got Columbine. Here we are, 2024. Columbine. Period.
Yeah.
We got Napster. Remember Napster? Napster.
Remember the music industry?
Remember the music industry? Yeah. We have Woodstock 99 in Rome, New York.
Oh, God.
All that live coverage from MTV.
There's a whole lot of
priceless.
with that.
Yeah. Derry, you were there. You remember how terrible it was. Then we got David Bowie's 21st studio album called Hours was the first complete album by a major artist that was legally available to download.
And the first one that felt like it lasted hours.
And it came out 2 weeks before the physical release. That was a big deal then, because it was 1999. Then the last thing I've got there is Gary Glitter went to jail. All right.
That's
As it should be.
right.
As it should be.
I
Yeah.
feel like our framing's a little off here, isn't it? Oh, maybe it's just.
Oh,
it's
no,
Because I'm really
I was
leaning
a
into
little-
you guys
I'm
are-
really
you guys are
leaning
going
into
both ways.
1999.
I was a little out of
yeah.
frame.
Okay,
All right.
well.
So here's my runners-up. I only have one runner-up. And that person is Vitamin C. Do you remember Vitamin
Oh
C?
God, yes I do, and I saw her stuff repeatedly and almost put her on,
Your poop list?
well, on my hate list.
My hate list, yeah.
But that was one of those where I was like, I'm not even going to bother. I'm not even going to bother even putting on my fucking hate
Well,
list.
it's 1999, and I'm not a huge fan of Vitamin C. Do you even remember who she was? Vitamin C was a woman, a girl, a young chick, and she had this terrible orangey, rusty hair color, which did her no favors.
She was a strawberry blonde.
Yeah, but then ruined it with this dye. And I don't know why you would call yourself Vitamin C. Anyway, she put out this album called Smile. It was her first record. And it was like, okay, it wasn't huge on MTV or huge on VH1, but it was out there. And the reason why it's a runner-up for me is because, number one, she did the title song with Lady Saw, who is a very famous reggae artist who was great. You may remember her from Gwen Stefani from No Doubt.
From that No Doubt, they sung that.
Yeah.
Underneath It All.
Underneath It All.
That was
That's
really
Lady
good,
Saw,
actually.
Which is really good. And here's a kooky dooky fun fact. Greg Raleigh co-wrote a song on this album called Me, Myself, and I.
Really?
On the Vitamin C album?
Yes. Greg Raleigh co-wrote a song for Vitamin C. That's how fucked up 1999
That's
was.
how desperate for money
See?
Greg Raleigh was.
Greg Raleigh was.
Yeah.
Well,
And
good for
she
him.
and she covered I Got You by Split Enz on that. Okay. So here's my list. Coming in at number 10. Coming in hot. I got The Real World by Missy Elliott.
Missy Elliott.
Yeah, Missy Elliott. Yeah, this was the beginning of her salad days, as you would say. You know, she was with Timberland, who produced it. It's got good songs on there, a couple of hits.
Is this the one that's got 1 Minute Man on it? Or is that
Yes.
the next album?
I think it's this one.
Okay.
I can't remember
I like that
exactly.
song.
I didn't write down the individual songs here. Coming down at number 9, I got Mary by Mary J. Blige. And this was when she was kind of on the upswing after a bad relationship. I've talked about this before. Mary's songs are about the previous year at least, what happened to her and what she was going through. So the big single from this was All That I Can Say, which is a beautiful, sing-songy, lilty, uplifting R&B mellow chill classic. And she also covered As with George Michael on this record.
That is sacrilege.
I understand that, but I kind of liked it. It was okay for me. Coming in at number 8, I have Street Fairy by Cree Summer. Anybody remember this?
I think I've heard the name. That's about it.
Do you know who Cree Summer is?
Nope.
Okay, so Cree Summer was on A Different World with Lisa Bonet, and she played Freddie, the hippy-dippy black chick.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Okay. Yeah.
Who went after the dude with the dreadlocks and who
Right.
was a nutbag. So she put out this record called Street Fairy, and Tommy's automatically going to hate it. Probably Paul will too, because Lenny Kravitz produced it.
Oh, nope, no good.
So, do you know what I'm saying? Like, she was already a hippy-dippy flower child person, and then you got Lenny Kravitz producing it. Guess what you get? Either you like it or you don't. I like it, they don't. And which is fine.
Actually, I'm guessing what you would get. It sounds like it would be kind of a 70s, 60s sounding.
It is, which you might like it.
I'm saying it. None of this sounds like anything I wouldn't like.
Yeah, you might
I
like
mean,
it.
Lenny started making shit records, but if he's
Yeah.
making like a retro sounding
But
record for someone, it could be good.
It was good. Like, he put in work. And
Okay.
she's got a good voice, and the songs were very clever. And the reason why it really resonated with me is because of one song in particular, and it's called Curious White Boy. And there's one line in this song that, if you bring it up to black women who are my age, who remember this record and liked it, they're all going to be like, shit, that's it. And the line is, another housekeeper fantasy, coffee-colored remedy for your hangover from history.
Whoa.
Yeah. So think
So you
about
guys
that.
have your pickup lines
You got
now
your-
when you go out. Everybody, take that. Write that down.
Don't, white
Wow.
boys, don't say that if you're trying to pick up a black chick. Don't say that. Because you're going to get smacked. All right, coming in at number 7, I have Fan Mail by TLC. Yeah, Fan Mail. Come on, Tommy. Really?
I'm not into them at that point.
What?
The first TLC record I'm there for.
This has no scrubs on it.
I don't care. I don't like no scrubs.
All right, so No Scrubs was a big hit. Unpretty was the second big hit, which was a really great song about women, living up to ridiculous standards, beauty standards. And it was produced by Jermaine Dupri and Jammin' Lewis and Dallas Austin and Babyface and Kevin Shakespeare Briggs and Deborah Killings, which is like a murderer's row of R&B producers at that time period. They were like hitting it out of the park all the time. And one really interesting fun fact about this is that they were offered Hit Me Baby One More Time and they turned it down.
Really?
Yes.
Well, that was smart.
Mm-hmm. They turned it down. But if you think about TLC doing that song, I don't know. It's a hit or miss for me.
No, I can picture
that's a
it.
miss or miss. I mean, that's...
I can hear it.
Think
I
about
can
what
totally
kind of
hear it.
harmony it would have been or something like that. And they also turned down Where My Girls At by 702. Where My Girls At, from the front to back. And
Really?
feeling it. Yeah, they turned that down.
Oh, God, they should have taken both of those
Very
songs.
interesting. I thought that was very interesting. Coming in at number 6, I have the Rushmore soundtrack. Rushmore? It's got Kinks all over it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that guy, what's his fuck?
Wes Anderson.
Wes Anderson, he puts the Kinks in every fucking
everything,
movie.
yeah.
You only have to see one of his movies to get some Kinks, on celluloid.
And that's true. But it's a really good soundtrack because Mark Mothersbaugh from Devo does all the incidental music. You know that?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's good. It's weird, like tingly, tangly, jingly, jangly, harpsichordy. It's kind of cool. I like it. Coming in at number 5, this is the record that you were thinking about before, by Fiona Apple, When the Pawn... ... It's like 800 words, the title of this album.
Oh.
And then after the first, the initial release of it, the first 50,000 copies or whatever it is, then they changed the title to When the Pawn ... because it was too long for people to say or care about.
Yes. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, it was literally a paragraph.
Yeah, it was. And
I just ran across it going through the list, and I was just like, oh, for fuck's sake, come on.
Didn't it fill up the entire cover?
It did.
It was the whole cover was
a red
text.
photograph of her and the whole thing.
Yeah.
From
Yes,
top to
and it
bottom.
was just
Absolutely asinine.
there's none more up your ass. None more up your ass. None more up your own ass. Sorry.
That's true.
Yes.
None more up your own ass.
Coming in at number 4, I have On How Life Is with Macy Gray. And I understand that.
Yep.
I totally get it.
I'll leave it alone.
I totally get it. But I like the songwriting. She's got this kooky, gravelly voice. First of all, I give it up to her for persevering and for whoever decided to sign her. Because really, she shouldn't have put a record out. Like, considering what was going on at the time period and all the other black women on the charts and in the music industry who had a headway, she was the inverse of all that. She's tall, she's not pretty, she has some crazy unruly afro, this kooky gravelly voice, but yet she did it. And I give big ups to her.
She wasn't not pretty.
A lot of industry standards compared to...
Oh, well, I don't give a fuck about the industry
No,
standards.
you guys don't, but other people do care.
In fact, I was almost interested in that album when it came out because the cover looked really cool. Like
Yeah.
the cover, looked like, wow, this looks like
Yeah.
it looks like it would sound like the Marvin Gaye "What's Going On" album or something. Like
Right.
but
It had a
no,
lot
that's not what it
going on
sounds
there.
like.
The only problem I ever had with her was the biggest problem of all is I just cannot stand the sound of her voice.
See? And this is what I'm saying.
It's a little
Yeah.
rough.
She persevered over all that. Put out a record, put out more records. She still tours every once in a while. I like Macy Gray. Number 3, I have Things Fall Apart by The Roots. And that's the album cover with the famous photograph from a riot. And there's it's black and white, and there's a black woman running down the street like, ah! In this white dress. The Roots. The Roots. The
Roots.
Yeah. If you don't know about The Roots, get on it. This is another classic record of theirs. And I'm not even going to bother to say the hit singles because nobody's going to know what I'm talking about. Coming in at number 2.
Crystal Core. Crystal Core.
It's Crystal Core.
Crystal Core.
Thank you. Bring Crystal Core. Coming in at number 2, I have the White Stripes self-titled album, The White Stripes.
I tried with that. I tried.
What's your number 1?
I tried. I really did.
Just asking for a friend.
Asking for a friend. Yeah, I know.
You wanted to jump to light speed to the number one?
Ludicrous speed.
Wow. Wow.
Yes.
They've gone to plaid.
Okay. Yeah, I like the White Stripes. I'm fine with that. People don't like it. I get it. I understand why a lot of people don't like it. They hate his voice. She can't play drums, blah, blah, blah. I get it. But again, adventurous, different, don't give a fuck about what other people think. I like it. But my number one song of 1999.
You only have a song?
Oh, album, sorry. Album.
Is that how dire this fucking year is?
It's rough, man. It's rough.
It's a rough year.
My number one album from 1999 is By Your Side by the Black Crowes. I still stand for the Black Crowes. And this record has some really, really good songs on it. And I know that they were doing this, they were recording this when they were at, another infighting low. And Chris was really fucked up on drugs, and I think he was dating what's her face, Goldie Hawn's kid.
Oh,
they got married eventually.
What's her face from Almost Famous?
Yeah.
Kate Hudson.
Kate Hudson, yes. He was, he was like doing a Lenny Kravitz thing, like trying to woo her through song to marry him, and eventually she did. And there's good New Orleans vibe on here, Only a Fool, with, these amazing churchy black women singing and a horn section. I like this record. It's the one where they're, it's like a black light kind of thing, and they're all dressed in white, and Chris has on this huge hat with this big feather. Right. It's good. I like it. That's my number one, 1999.
Did you ever get off the bus with these guys, or are you...
No, I get off the bus.
Well,
I guess we'll find out at what point.
We'll see when and if that happens.
When my ticket gets punched. Yeah.
Okay. Well, give me a break.
Randy's so cool. Now Randy's a doll. So let's get sparkle pants. Dress up real fine. Styling skirt. Moving so right. Center stage tonight. Cool braids.
Brandy doll comes with 2 outfits, stand, and pretend microphone. You can make her dance.
Do I like to shop? Oh, yes.
Hi.
Fat free. Franks and beans?
Aisle 5.
Beans and Franks?
Aisle 7.
We need more turquoise up front.
Nothing but card. He needs this cantaloupe to win. Teddy Grahams?
Aisle 4, bottom shelf.
Need more bad boys up front.
Thanks.
Anyone?
How you doing?
Clean up aisle 6. Clean up aisle 6 right away, please.
Check this out.
Congratulations, you're our 1 millionth shopper.
Use your card at supermarkets and drugstores and get double membership rewards points.
I love this card.
All right, so now, in fact, we are truly ready to
Now
hate.
we're ready to hate.
Truly ready to hate. And I believe I'm the first.
You're the first hater.
Paul, please take a shit all over this year.
I'm hate brother number 1.
Hate brother number one.
All right.
All right.
Oh, I have a pretty good list here going too. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I have several runners-up. Rat. With Rat.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
But it's just back to what you pointed out before. Bands like that combined, you take that band like that and 90s and...
It just does not work.
Yeah. Santana with Supernatural. This is you know what I'm talking about. Oh man.
An indictment on the music industry.
Oh
God.
Britney Spears with Baby One More
Oh.
Smash Mouth with Astro Lounge.
Oh.
Blink-182, Enema of the State.
Enema. They thought they were
by
clever.
Blink-182.
Enema of the State.
Slipknot with Slipknot. Fucking anything by Slipknot. But my worst of the year.
You do have one.
It's a tie.
Whoa!
My worst of the year is a fucking tie.
Wow.
That's how bad it was.
Yes, okay, so I have things to say about both of these records. First up, we have, not a band, an artist, a project called Cassiotone for the Painfully Alone.
What?
Whoa.
With an album entitled Answering Machine Music.
What?
Let me explain.
This doesn't bode well.
No, let me explain. Owen Ashworth of Redwood City, California, Silicon Valley, started this band after dropping out of film school in 1997. Short songs played in C on the white notes of a Casio keyboard. The band's musical style, I had to write this down.
Notes.
The band's musical style.
Racist.
Yeah, it was Silicon Valley. The band's musical style was characterized by the use of electronically produced beats, cheap keyboards, and slow, frank lyrics. Basically, it sounds like the Frogs if they took themselves painfully seriously. If you know who the Frogs are, you know what I'm talking about.
Wow.
His brother Gordon makes experimental harsh noise under the name Oscillating Innards, and ambient works under the name Concern. He also plays in a grindcore black metal band. Yeah, it's just absolutely just fucking awful shit that it's just like one track will just be like a really bad sort of shrill sounding drum machine and him mumbling random shit over it, and then he put his hair behind his ear, and then he over a clink 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 sounding kind of like shit like that. Just like fuck you listener music, basically. Look how arty and weird I am. He dropped out of film school to do this.
I don't think I need to tell you how I already feel about this record. You probably know.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Okay, but that is tied. That is merely tied. That is tied with something else called The Music Tapes, with their album First Imaginary Symphony for Nomad. This one, the dude from Neutral Milk Hotel
oh boy,
makes super annoying wannabe Trout Mask replica garbage. It was recorded on an old cylinder recorder, an old wire recorder, and a reel-to-reel machine.
Wait, stop. We were just joking about wax cylinders the other day.
Well, this motherfucker... Yes.
Stop!
Yes! Recorded on cylinder, old wire fucking recorder.
Come on!
And reel-to-reel machine, which, to be fair, gives it a really cool, ghostly sound, which would be great if it was by somebody else making good music. But
I know somebody who has a wire recorder. Steve has one. Yeah.
So there is an audience for this kind of musically contrarian shite, and there are probably people who think this is the fucking greatest album ever made. But mere oafs like me find it excruciating. So that's all there is to that.
Wow, that's a hell of a tie.
Well, Paul, you're just not sophisticated enough.
That's exactly.
That's what it is. That's what the problem is.
Obviously.
Okay.
So tell me.
I have to follow that. Well, I've got dishonorable mentions. Obviously, I've got Astro Lounge by Smash Mouth. And obviously, I've got Slipknot by Slipknot. Mm-hmm. And at that point, I had to stop there with the dishonorable mentions because this would have just gone on and fucking on and on and on.
Yeah.
But I do have a worst of the year. My worst of the year. This is a band that put out an album. This was a side project band that I talked about, I think in the 1985 episode. Stormtroopers of Death, Speak English or Die.
Right, yeah.
And it worked then. It totally worked. And it became this huge underground fan favorite, this cult classic. And everyone was like, you guys gotta do that again. It's like, it was a one-off. We can never do it again. Well, in 1999, they finally listened to the fans. They're like, okay, you know what? Let's just try to do that again. And they put out Bigger Than the Devil. And it didn't fucking work. It is bad. It is so bad. In terms of the comedy of a sequel landing, this is up there with Blues Brothers 2000. This is up there with Zoolander 2. In terms of like the original versus the follow-up.
Well, And this type of humor, if it doesn't land,
boy, it is a risk,
yeah,
and it did not fucking land. Boy, oh boy, did this
they're just lucky
record
they
not
didn't
work.
put this shit out in the last 3-5 years or so. they would. We'd have the return of like public hangings.
It would have not gone over very well. It really wouldn't have. Wow. So that's my worst for 1999.
Zowie. All right. Oh boy. Yeah. So we got Slipknot. We got Blink-182. Roxette.
Oh.
Red Voodoo by Sammy Hagar.
Oh, that's Sammy Hagar and the Wabaritas. And he's always on the cover with his thing, his fucking margarita.
Yes. Yeah.
You know what?
Either
you like focus on your Cabo Wabo horseshit and your resort and your tequila and all that jazz, or you try to be a serious musician again. Do not try to marry the two of them.
Well, that's the point. I feel like he tried to, and he stayed that way going forward. From that record on, to me, he started coming across to me like a hard rock Jimmy Buffett.
Yeah.
And I cannot take him serious from
Sammy,
that record on.
Yeah. Separation of church and state, Sammy.
Yeah, please do that.
Yeah, that was the album that did it.
It's really snowing. It's snowing out, guys.
It's totally snowing.
I don't know if that's going to be reflected on the exterior shots. Depends on how it is on the day I shoot
I shot
those,
a little video of it. We can put it in there. And then I got Buck Cherry. Buck Cherry. Buck Cherry. The singer was kind of hot, and it's a good name, Buck Cherry. What does that mean? I don't know, but it sounds good. It rolls off the tongue. It's one of those things.
It's Chuck Berry.
It's Chuck Berry. Yes, it is.
Chuck Berry sounds better to me.
Spoonerism.
I know. I was going to say that, but thank you, Tommy. And you should be embarrassed because the music does not live up to your inspiration for the name. That's it. That's all I got.
Well, all right.
No, all wrong.
All
wrong. Well,
all wrong, no good.
Well, all shite.
All shite.
All right. See you in a moment.
It's 2 a.m., January 1st, year 2000. Power's out. It's pitch black. You need light. If you planned ahead, you'll have one of these. Just wind it up. You'll have light and communication. Call now and get the ultimate Y2K survival kit from BeCalm.com. You'll receive the Sunburst, the premier wind-up and solar-powered flashlight and radio, a video resource guide with real advice from leading experts, a diagnostic computer program to test your PC. You'll receive 3 soup samples from Hourglass Foods, food storage you'll want to eat. Plus, you'll receive a step-by-step guide that will show you how to prepare without wasting a single penny.
Call now and order your ultimate Y2K survival kit. You get the wind-up and solar-powered flashlight radio, video diagnostic software, food samples, and preparation guide. A $90 value, all for only $49.95. Call 1-800-303-8747 now and tell the operator to rush an ultimate Y2K survival kit to your home. Call now.
There's only one place in the whole world where you can see him every day of the year. Kids from all over the planet come to Universal Studios Florida to see their favorite dinosaur.
Barney! I love you. You love me. We're a happy family with a great big hug and a kiss from me to you. Won't you say love me too? I love you, you love me. We're best friends like friends should be. With a great big hug and a kiss from me to you. Won't you say you love me too? I love you, Barney.
You'll love Barney live in person every day at Universal Studios Florida. And new this year, Universal Studios Islands of Adventure, our second colossal theme park at Universal Studios Escape.
All right, everybody, thank you for trudging through 1999 with us and through the 90s.
Oh, actually. Yeah, the 90s are over now.
We've made it out. Here we are, alive and well.
And your reward will be that next week we start on the year 2000. So was it worth it?
Is it a reward?
I submit it was not.
That has yet to be determined. I think that has yet to be determined. Let's find out.
Oh, but first.
Oh, wait.
Vintage
it's photo time!
All right, so here we have Crystal in 1999, and she writes, "This is a self-portrait I took in preparation for a photo shoot for a formal portrait. It was used for a painting, the first portrait ever painted of me. Little did I know that decades later I would be working as an art model and eventually have hundreds of portraits painted, drawn, and sculpted of me." And this is me in 1999, at the height of my mod phase, and this is Vantana, somebody I was hanging out with at the time, and this is at a club gig for the band I was in. This is the early days of the band Persephone's Bees, and that is the band that, that I achieved the most musically with. Perhaps more on that later. Oh, and fun fact, in case you recognize the red jacket, that is the same one that I wore in the 1997 episode. And here we have Tommy in 1999, and he writes, "At this point, I'm absolutely headfirst down a 90s pop-punk rabbit hole. I would buy anything Lookout Records would put out. It wouldn't matter if it was just copies of their old heating bills from their office. Here, I've started a new band called The Repellents, and I've switched to guitar along with continuing to be the lead singer. Fun fact, I still have that guitar to this day. I've completely restored it for nostalgia purposes, even though I'm not a Strat guy at all and haven't been for decades." Alright, so there you go. That is Crystal and me and Tommy in 1999. Alright! Alright, everybody, thank you, and yeah.
We look so good in 1999.
That was us.
So awesome.
We should probably get out of here because we need to get out of the fucking 90s like yesterday.
Please.
So, see you guys soon. But wait, before we see you guys soon, do be sure and subscribe.
Yes.
And if you do subscribe, click the little bell for notifications. Like, please. Comment if you like,
Tell your friends.
And so on and so on.
Tell your enemies.
And come back next week because we are going to be starting out the aughts, the 00s, the 2000s. We still... It's been 20 years and we still don't know what to fucking call that decade.
No.
The aughts.
Whatever. The 00s. I call them the 00s. The knots.
The knots.
Yeah. We're going to be doing the year 2000 next week. We will see you then.
Photo time. Photo time. Photo time. Photo time. Photo time. Photo time. Photo time.
All right. Well, all right.
No, all wrong.
All
wrong. Well,
all wrong, no good.
Well, all shite.
All shite.
All right. See you in a moment. Wait. Take two. See you in a moment. Oh, God, that's a mess.
Are we in the commercial?
I'll make something out of it in the edit.
We're rolling.
We're rolling.
All right.
We're rolling-ding.
Rolling
Rolling-bowling.
Roll on.
Trying to conjure up some sort of love for this fucking year.
Oh, you're gonna have to rub a lot harder than that.
Heyo!
Might need to get some toys to assist you.
Oh! Welcome back to our OnlyFans channel.
You thought you meant a lot of dicks at that time. Well,
it's where the real money for the podcast is made.
That's right. Production costs.
Okay. 3, 2.
All right!